Chapter 2.7 in the 10-3 workbook, expressing SI units, so that is metric, as imperial. Okay, so the opposite conversion from the last chapter. Try these converting yards to feet. So try to remember these within. So this is within imperial. These two are within metric. So within imperial, they're 3 feet in a yard. So that means if you have 4 yards, 3 times 4 is 12. Each foot has 12 inches. You've got 9 feet, so 9 times 12, this was 4 times 3, 9 times 12, that's 108 inches. Kilometers to meters. So kilometer is much bigger than meter, so you're going to end up with a bigger number. So here we're going to multiply by 1,000. Okay, there's 1,000 meters in a kilometer, so multiply by 1,000. That's going to move the decimal place, so it'll be 38,500 meters. Now this is smaller than a meter, millimeters, so we are going to divide, and in this case by 1,000, because there's 1,000 millimeters in a meter. So that's going to move our decimal 3 to the left, so that's 0.852 meters. Okay, then the next part says, sometimes you need to know the equivalent of a length or distance measured in SI units in imperial units. This chart shows the approximate relationships among common units. Approximate, but pretty accurate. 2 decimal places, all except millimeters to inches, and that goes to 3 decimal places. You can find more on if you search it, but these are what we are going to use. So by approximate, this is really as accurate as we're going to get. It's not as though we're estimating. So first question here says, what would you multiply a measurement given in centimeters to express its measure in inches? So for given in centimeters, I want to find what 1 centimeter represents in terms of inches. Okay, so in this chart, that's perfect. 1 centimeter is 0.39 inches, and that's what I'm going to multiply by 0.39. Okay, multiply a measurement given in meters, so I want to look for what 1 meter is in how many yards. So 1 meter is 1.09 yards. It's slightly bigger than a yard, right? So that's what I'm going to multiply by, 1.09. And then kilometers, so 1 kilometer equals how many miles? So there, that would be 0.62. If you take a look at your conversion chart in the back of your workbook or front page, then take a look at the charts. It's the 4th chart down where we're going from metric to imperial. Okay, and there you can see those conversions. Okay. Okay, so first example. Asif plans to run in a cross-country race. The length of the course is 6.7 kilometers. How far will he run in miles? So given in kilometers, so I want to find the 1 kilometer equals how many miles conversion. Okay, well, it's in that little chart. It's also given here. Okay, so this is what I want to use because I know that I have 6.7 kilometers. So if I'm given that 1 kilometer is 0.62 and I've got 6.7 of them, I want to multiply. So 6.7 times 0.62. And again, you don't have to show the units within your calculations, just at the end. So 6.7 times 0.62, 4.154. Okay, and again, you could round that, but it didn't ask you, so we'll just leave it. Next one, the diameter of a spark plug is 14 millimeters. What is the measure in inches? So I want to look for a conversion from 1 millimeter. That's a funny looking one, I know. equals how many inches? So in my chart that's given, do I have that? Yeah, I do. Sometimes you might have to convert to centimeters or do two conversions, but in this case we don't. 0.039. So it's given there as well. We've got 14 of the millimeters, so 14 times 0.039. And if you don't show the units, that's okay. You can kind of tell if you've talked about unit analysis in math or in science, uses it a lot. This millimeters in the denominator, that divides out, so you're left with an answer in inches. In any case, oops, let me get my calculator. So 14 times 0.039, 0.546. Okay. So that's in inches. So about what fraction of an inch is your answer in part A? About half an inch, right? 0.5. Right. So there's a solution 2. Again, often we don't use solution 2. It uses proportions. We're not going to bother with that. I do want to go through one of the practice questions. So in question 10, it says a nickel is 1.95 millimeters thick. About how long is a $2 roll of nickels? So if you've ever rolled nickels and taken them to the bank, okay, we want to know how long this is. Okay, we don't know how long it is in metric or imperial. It tells you that it's worth $2. Okay, and so you need to remember that a nickel is worth 5 cents. So how many nickels are in that roll, first of all? So you want to take $2 and divide by 0.05, or you could go, well, $2 is 200 cents, and divide by 5 cents. So this is in dollars. This is in cents. And either way, you get 40. So there are 40 nickels. So the length of the roll will be 40 times 1.95 millimeters, because that we do know. So 40 times 1.95, that's 78 millimeters. And now we want to convert to inches. So I want to look for a conversion for 1 millimeter to inches. If we didn't have that, we could convert to centimeters. If you look back at the other part of the beginning part of your chapter, it does have the conversion from millimeters to inches. It's 0.039. So this is 0.039. So if I know that I have 78 millimeters, and then I want to multiply 78 by 0.039 to get it in inches. So if I already have that in my calculator, I can just press times 0.039. Okay, and 3.042 inches. Okay, and then it says round to the nearest inch, so that is 3 inches. So that's just one of the practice questions that I decided to show you. So that's it.